Many people work hard to attract greater good in superficial ways without first habitually radiating its mental equivalent. And then they are sorely disappointed when their great efforts result in failure and disappointment. Let's unpack that. Many people work hard to attract greater good in superficial ways. So just trying to do the techniques without doing the work underneath. Just trying to do the hard work without checking in with oneself about what you are radiating, like what kind of vibe you're putting out there habitually. So like on autopilot all the time, the majority of the time. So you've got to first habitually radiate the mental equivalent of the good that you want, the greater good that you want. So the mindset, the mental images, the thoughts being that version of you that would then attract the things that you want. Once I was talking with a lady who felt she would like to be married. I suggested that she invoke the law of radiation and attraction. After explaining that she must radiate before she could attract, I suggested that she prayerfully radiate these ideas over and over. So Catherine Ponder, the author of this book, is suggesting that this woman says a mantra is essentially another way of describing it. And the mantra is, divine love expressing through me now draws to me all that is needed to make me happy and to make my life complete. A little later, I began receiving reports from mutual friends that she was working hard on the attracting angle, but was radiating nothing more than phone calls and obvious invitations to all the men of her acquaintance. Later, she returned and reported that the suggested prayer method had not worked. Gently, I reminded her that she had not radiated the prayer method suggested, and instead had radiated the scare method, which had not been suggested. The method had worked in reverse because she had reversed the process. So what's going on here? Friends said that she was working hard on the attracting angle. So she was really trying to attract. But in so doing, in so trying desperately to attract, she was then actually just radiating, the vibes she was giving off was nothing more than needy phone calls and obvious invitations to all of the men of her acquaintance. So it's really sounding like she's like desperately trying to take loads of action. She's desperately trying to get all of these men to like her. And in the process, she's radiating the opposite of, the reverse of this prayer. Divine love expressing through me now draws to me all that is needed to make me happy and my life complete. The prayer method versus the scare method. So the scare method, you could say, is kind of like the scarcity method, where you're focused on not enoughness, you're focusing on fear. Scare is another word for fear. Or it could also be, Catherine could also be saying, is that she was actually scaring off the energy that she wanted to attract through her desperate reversal of the process. A middle-aged widow more recently dared to try the radiation and attraction method for the same purpose. While floating in a swimming pool, she silently affirmed over and over, divine love expressing through me now draws to me all that is needed to make me happy and to make my life complete. Presently, she heard a man's voice calling to her from the side of the pool, inquiring about the water, which she assured him was wonderful. Soon, he was in the water, and a little later, he was in her life as her husband. Enough said.